Hello everyone, welcome back to Movie Mad. So today I'm gonna give you quick review on The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. Scientist Richard Parker is playing hide and seek with his young son Peter. When he discovers that his study has been broken into, after quickly gathering some hidden documents, Richard and his wife Mary leave Peter with his Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Years later, young Peter attends Midtown Science High School, where he pines over his crush Gwen Stacy, while frequently getting bullied by the Flash Thompson. At home, Peter finds a briefcase containing some of his father's old documents and learns that his father worked with fellow scientist Dr. Curtis Connersat at pharmaceutical company named Oscorp. Faking his way into the Oscorp building by pretending to be an intern, Peter sneaks into a laboratory where extremely strong biocable is being created from genetically modified spiders. One of the spiders escapes from its container and bites Peter. On the subway ride home, Peter scuffles with a gang of thugs and discovers that he suddenly has increased agility and strength. Upon returning home, he finds the spider hiding in his jacket and stores it away. The next day, Peter goes to Dr. Connors' house and gives him Richard Parker's documents. Dr. Connors explains that he and Richard were researching cross-species genetics in order to find a way to regrow lost limbs, Dr. Connors being motivated by the loss of his own right arm. Dr. Connors is frustrated because his superior, Dr. Rajit Ratha, is pressuring him to devise a cure for Oscorp's CEO Norman Osborn, who is terminally ill. Back at school, Peter gets in trouble after accidentally breaking a basketball hoop during a game with Flash. Uncle Ben is forced to switch a work shift to meet with the principal about the situation. Afterward, Uncle Ben asks Peter to pick up Aunt May, but Peter instead practices his newfound powers and meets with Dr. Connors at Oscorp, who shows him how the limb regeneration formula works on a laboratory mouse. When Peter returns home, Uncle Ben scolds him for having forgotten to pick up Aunt May, reminding him that Richard believed that people should always make their responsibilities their priority. A distraught Peter storms off. He goes to a store to buy milk, but falls 2 cents short and is refused service by the store clerk. Suddenly, a man robs the store and Peter doesn't do anything to stop him. Uncle Ben, who is searching for Peter, sees the thief running away and wrestles with him over a gun. The thief shoots Uncle Ben right in front of Peter and runs off. Shortly after the attack, Peter acquires a police sketch of the killer and uses his abilities to hunt criminals matching the killer's description. After attacking a man who fits the description, he is chased by a gang and falls inside an abandoned gym, and a luchador wrestling poster inspires him to create a mask. Later on, he adds a spandex suit for mobility and suddenly becomes a folk hero who the public refers to as Spider-Man. The police, led by Gwen's father, Captain George Stacy, soon start a manhunt for the masked vigilante. Meanwhile, Dr. Ratha fires Dr. Connors for refusing to immediately start human trials of the limb regeneration formula. He takes a sample of the drug and plans to test it at a Veterans Administration hospital under the guise of flu shots. Growing desperate, Dr. Connors injects himself with the formula and passes out. Upon awakening, he finds his lost arm has fully regenerated. However, he then mutates into a large, reptilian monster and chases Dr. Ratha at the Williamsburg Bridge, throwing cars over the side as he rampages. Spider-Man saves each fallen car with the biocable web, which he deploys from wrist-mounted shooters of his own invention. With a great deal of difficulty, he also manages to save the life of a young boy trapped in a car that has fallen from the bridge, and that Spider-Man is holding suspended in midair through the biocable webbing. Spider-Man then confronts the lizard in the sewers, barely escaping alive. Unfortunately, Peter leaves behind a camera he used to expose the lizard's intentions, a camera inscribed with his name. The lizard finds it and learns Spider-Man's real identity. He attacks Peter at school and plans to unleash the drug all over Manhattan, to mutate all humans into lizards, using a cloud-generating device at Oscorp Tower, unaware that Gwen is there making an antidote for the condition at Peter's request. The police mobilize to stop both him and Spider-Man, but are delayed when the lizard infects officers with small doses of the chemical. Captain Stacy learns Spider-Man's real identity and allows him to go stop Connors, while proceeding to the tower himself after Peter mentions that Gwen is there making the antidote. However, during the manhunt, Spider-Man was wounded by a police bullet and is having difficulty swinging from building to reach Oscorp Tower. The father of the young boy whose life Spider-Man saved works in construction, and hears about what's going on through the radio and TV while working an evening shift. He calls all of his construction worker friends who are also working, and they all maneuver large cranes into proper formation so that Spider-Man can use them to reach Oscorp Tower. After Captain Stacy retrieves the antidote from Gwen and arrives to save Spider-Man, who was being overpowered, Both of them fight together to delay the lizard while Spider-Man modifies the machine to disperse the antidote instead, restoring the humanity of Connors and the infected officers, and allowing him to save Peter from a fatal fall from the tower. Unfortunately, the lizard mortally wounded Captain Stacy. Before he dies of his wounds, Stacy makes Peter promise to keep Gwen safe by staying away from her. And that's the end of first part. In second part, our story starts with a backstory of Peter Parker's father and mom. Richard and Mary are on a private jet. Mary mentions that she has found somewhere safe for them to stay as Richard uploads project files from his laptop. He tries to reassure her, explaining that their life has been changed forever. Mary pops into the bathroom just as one of the flight crew steps out of the cockpit. Richard notes the man has gone to a sink and appears to be washing blood off his hands. Suddenly, the crew guy pulls a gun and threatens Richard. He locks Mary in the bathroom and prepares to shoot Richard. As Richard uploads the file, Mary realizes something is wrong and bursts out. A struggle ensues and Mary is shot. Richard desperately overcomes the thug. Mary reminds Richard to finish the upload just as the thug roars back to life. They scrap back and forth as we see the pilot is dead and the plane falls into a steep dive. Mary is dead. There's no getting out of the situation. However, the file upload to Roosevelt. Richard shoots out a window. The hitman flies out the window to his death and Richard confirms that the file is transferred. The plane plummets to its doom. Now, in present day, are Spider-Man chasing criminals. A big tow truck is being driven by a bald guy, Alexei Saitsevich. He's bashing lots of Manhattan vehicles as he steals the Oscorp truck. Armed assistants set explosives to blow the hatch as the Russian rolls over police cars. Spidey swings impressively through buildings in hot pursuit. There's a container of yellowish vials that are their target. Geek Max Dillon stumbling through a crowd with an armful of blueprints. Naturally, the prints get knocked from his hands and roll into the street. Just Spidey leaps to the rescue and prevents Max from being squashed by a cab. In the middle of criminal chase, Gwen Stacy calls Peter and reminds him that he is really late for their high school graduation ceremony. At the same time, Peter imagines the Gwen's father and realizes that he is breaking his promise. Now on the other side at ceremony, Gwen is called up to deliver her valedictory speech. Cut back to the truck chase. Peter caught the criminals and saved some lives of the people. And finally Peter makes to the graduation ceremony. That evening, Peter shows up to the date, but won't come into the restaurant that Gwen and her family are at. Gwen meets him at the door and they talk again about her dad and the promise Peter made. And Gwen decides to break up. After that, Spider-Man keeps saving people and also keeping his eye on Gwen, making sure that she is okay. We cut to Max Dillon, who is working in Oscorp, which is developing a new power grid system. Meanwhile, Harry Osborn arrives home to visit his ailing father Norman. Norman says his disease is genetic and implies that Harry will succumb to the same fate. He hands Harry a drive with his research. Minutes later, a newscast announces Norman Osborn's death. Now Max is told by his supervisor to stay check out a problem with the bioelectric power grid. Poor Max tries to repair the system, but ends up electrocuting himself and falling into the tank of eels. His transformation has begun. Meanwhile, Peter visits Harry. They haven't seen each other in years. He came to check in on his old friend in the wake of his father's passing. While they are talking, Harry learns that Peter has a girlfriend and Peter says Gwen's name, mentioning she's an Oscorp employee. After that, Max Dillon gets his superpowers. He finds out that his body reanimates in a shower of sparks. That evening, Peter meets with Gwen in the city. Looks like they're making up. Gwen drops a bomb, that she's one of 2 finalists and could be headed to England. As Peter tries to process the news, his spider sense triggers. He looks to Times Square. At Times Square, Max grabs a power outlet to absorb the energy. A cop demands that he stop and Max inadvertently flips a big truck with his electromagnetic powers. His emotions explode, triggering a wave of energy that flips the squad cars. Spidey swoops in to catch one before it crushes a cop and tries to talk Max down. But his plan didn't work and Max, aka Electro, and Spider-Man fight with each other and somehow Spider-Man defeats Electro and saves people. After that, at home, Peter experimenting with ways to electro-proof his electronic web shooters by watching YouTube videos. The next morning, Harry calls him, asks to visit him. After that, Harry tells Peter that he needs to find Spider-Man and experiment on his blood to find a cure of his illness. Meanwhile, Gwen starts looking through Oscorp files to find Max Dillon. She thinks that he might be the electrical creature that attacked the city. Smart girl. Security agents detect the file access and block it, and then trace it back to Gwen. Now security start to chase Gwen and she bumps into Peter. Hopping into a storeroom, she explains that she knows who Electro is. Peter helps to escape Gwen. Cut to Ravencroft Institution, where Dillon has been collected and stored. Where he says he wanted to kill Spider-Man. Cut to Harry's house. He looks awful. Spider-Man has dropped in to explain that giving him his blood isn't possible. It could have deadly side effects. At home, Peter takes his frustration. He throws an electronic device that Richard owned, and it breaks open, revealing a large number of subway tokens stashed inside. He remembers what May said about Richard taking the D train. Peter is in the subway tunnels. He discovers the Roosevelt station. All of his dad's research is here, and the file download was completed years ago. Richard Parker, where he refused to let his research be used for biological weapons. Peter watches as his father says that Peter is the most important thing to him, driving Peter to tears. At Ravencroft, Harry breaks in to meet with Electro. Harry bargains with Electro to take down Oscorp for him. Harry appeals to Max's desperate need for friendship, and they agree to take down Spider-Man together. Electro kills Menken's security guard before Harry walks in and forces Menken to grant him access to special projects. Harry injects himself with the spider venom cure, which sets off a painful transformation into the Green Goblin. On the other side, Peter aka Spider-Man tells Gwen that he will go to England to be with her. And they kiss. At the same time, Electro takes down the city's power grid, enveloping New York in darkness. Gwen figures out that Peter can electro-proof his web shooters by magnetizing them. They do this with jumper cables from a squad car, and Peter webs Gwen to a car for safety. I told you this girl is smart. Then Spider-Man and Electro fight with each other, and with help of Gwen, Spider-Man beats Electro. After that, Harry comes screaming in on his goblin glider, and by seeing Spider-Man and Gwen together, figures out that Peter is Spider-Man and decides to hurt Peter by harming Gwen. Then Harry and Peter fight with each other, and Peter defeats Harry, but Gwen gets killed. Gwen's death hurts Peter bad. Peter sits alone at her grave, and he over her sight over a period of several months. At the Parker house, a newscast indicates that Spider-Man has been missing for 5 months. After that, Peter watches Gwen's graduation speech, which motivates him to go back in the field as a Spider-Man. Happy ending. At the end, I just want to say that, to help yourself, you must be yourself. Be the best that you can be. When you make mistake, learn from it, pick yourself up, and move on. This is Movie Mad, signing off.